Hi, I'm Jennifer Simmons with AIM. Welcome to week 11 of the General Assembly's long legislative session. I'm here today with our legislative team, Brian Gould and Lindsay Moss. Let's get right into it and talk annexation, Senate Bill 94. There's some updates there.
Yeah. So Senate Bill 94 was the bill introduced by Senator Phil Boots that would essentially turn Indiana into a voluntary annexation-only state. That bill did pass the Senate, but it was heard last week in the House Government and Regulatory Reform Committee. Going into that committee meeting, the chairman was pretty clear with us and other stakeholders that he thought the 2015 reforms were sufficient, and he didn't see a big reason why we needed to turn those reforms back and go to a voluntary-only state. But he did want to hear all the stakeholders out in committee. We testified along with others like the Farm Bureau and the counties about the current state of annexation in Indiana. And he held the bill, he didn't vote it. He also didn't schedule it for a committee hearing this week. But the consensus among the committee members last week and this week, as we've talked with them at the State House, has been either that it be a summer study committee or the bill just not leave committee at all. So I think we're in a pretty good spot with that bill. Right now, the only bad annexation language that's moving deals with waivers, and that's in a different bill.
There's some movement on another bill that we've been tracking all session, Senate Bill 535, extraterritorial jurisdiction.
Yeah, so this was another bill introduced by Senator Boots. As introduced, it would have completely eliminated the 2-mile fringe area where cities and towns can have planning and zoning jurisdiction in that 2-mile buffer. We worked successfully with some stakeholders in the first half to pare that back down a little bit, but I think we're making even more progress on the House side. We got an agreement from other stakeholders this week to allow all cities and towns to continue operating in the fringe for as long as they adopt a new comprehensive plan. If they adopt a new comprehensive plan, then they would have to get the approval of the county commissioners. That applied even in counties without any zoning. But the agreement that I think we reached with stakeholders this week was that if a county doesn't have zoning, the municipality can continue their 2-mile jurisdiction even without commissioner approval. So I think that represents positive movement.
Brian, we've talked about this in legislative summary. I'm not sure we've talked about it in our weekly videos. House Bill 1266 regarding MS4 preemption. You want to give an update?
Yeah. So this is probably a pretty familiar issue for those municipalities that are designated MS4 entities. There was a similar bill introduced last year to preempt them, expediting the permitting process, in placing no more stringent than language. So last year we were able to actually defeat this bill in the Senate Environmental Committee. This year, with a change of makeup of some of those committee members, we didn't think we had the opportunity to do that. So we worked closely with stakeholders in the first half to broaden the bill as it was initially introduced, where it gave us 48 hours to approve a permit. We made some progress on the House side, made a little additional progress as the conversation started in the Senate. The bill was heard on Monday in committee. The night before, at about 4 or 5 p.m., we got an amendment sent to us that drastically changed the impact that the bill would have on those MS4 entities. So the good news is the Senate Environmental Committee was not receptive of that bigger, broader amendment. They did hold the bill. The Senate sponsor, Senator Blake Dorio, is working on another amendment for either this coming week or the following week. And I think it will actually be in better shape than what it was when it left the House. It means we still have some work to do in conference committee, but hopefully the bill will not be nearly as impactful as what it initially was.
Good. Another positive report is on House Bill 1166, AIM's efficiency bill, kind of our package bill where we try to move forward various initiatives that help municipal officials operate more efficiently and effectively.
Right, so last week we reported that the Senate Local Government Chairman, Senator Jim Buck, was a little hesitant with some of the changes we were asking to make. Thought there were a lot of issues in the bill, which it is an all-encompassing local government, kind of omnibus efficiency bill. In conversations with him, the Senate sponsor, we're going to make a few small amendments to the bill. It sounds like we will now get a hearing either on March 28th, April 4th, which is good news. Keep the bill moving. If we need to make any more changes, go back into the conference committee process and keep working on it there.
All right, so one more reminder to look at the bottom of your legislative summary for a full tracking list of everything the AIM legislative team is monitoring this legislative session. Also, we're excited to report that our legislative dinner next week on March 20th is completely sold out, so we'll have 400 municipal officials and legislators and state leaders attending our dinner. So thank you to those who registered, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks.